All right, guys, how's it going? So the boss has confirmed that Alisson was rested for last night's game. He wasn't injured, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. And also on Alisson, he said as follows. I said before the game, every time we play keeper number 2 in the League Cup, only one exception was Spurs away when Alisson came back from injury and needed some playing time. Sometimes players need time to be at their best. With him being just back from an injury, it felt better for him to play in that game. Yesterday was the League Cup, so Kelleher was in goal, and he deserves to be in goal. The final, we never know the situation around the final, so I cannot guarantee anything so far in advance. So 2 things here. First of all, Alisson just rested, according to the boss. But the second thing is, with regards to the final, where do you stand on that with your goalkeeping situation? Do you stick with Kelleher, or do you throw in Alisson? It's one of those things I've seen over the years, where they'll play a number 2 in a through the different rounds, and then maybe they get to final and pull that number 2 out, and in goes the number 1 for the final, which is understandable in some ways. You want to win the final, right? And the number 1's a number 1, and the number 2's a number 2 for a reason. But there's also that, imagine playing in all the other rounds and then getting to the final and going, sorry son, you're going to have to step out now, daddy's in goal. So it's a tricky one, isn't it, when it comes to stuff like that? What do you think about that? I think in the comment section people will say you stick with your number 2 that's gone right through that. If you look at Valencia, last night they hosted Barcelona in the Kings Cup, which is the equivalent of our FA Cup. They don't have a League Cup in Spain, so it's quite a prestigious competition. And they got absolutely thumped 5-0 last night by Barcelona. Mamardashvili wasn't in goal. You would know this if you follow my Spanish paper reviews in the morning. And in fact, yesterday morning I said he wouldn't play in that game. But there were some Liverpool fans today saying, well, why have we signed this Mamardashvili? He let 5 in last night. He didn't play. He was on the bench, and he was always going to be on the bench because the number 2 plays the cup games. But last night, I remember reading yesterday thinking, it's fucking Barcelona though, isn't it? Don't you want your best keeper in goal? So they went with the number 2. He conceded 5. Would Mamardashvili have done any better? Who knows? By all means, the reserve keeper there, Dimitrivski. I can't fucking remember his name. It's certainly not John Smith or Jack Daniels. He is a good goalkeeper, believe it or not. Barcelona tried to sign him in 2022, and they were linked with him again last year. The only reason he didn't get to them in 2022 was because the goalkeeper at the time, was it Pedro, refused to move. So it just didn't happen for him. So Barcelona clearly saw something in him. The point I'm making here is they stuck with the number 2 in a critical game and got absolutely smashed 5-0. So I'm just wondering what you think. I mean, I like Kelleher, mate. In some ways, I feel for him. Like with us going for Mamardashvili, Milli Vanilli as I call him. So yeah, I don't know. Some people think this summer that Kelleher will move on. Some people think that that Alisson is also available, believe it or not. Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on Mamardashvili in Spain for you. If he jumps off there, he's about 3 floors down. Oi! Please don't do that. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I want to throw him off, little bastard. I'm only joking. I love you, really. What was I saying? Goalkeepers. Oh yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Mamardashvili. A little bit closer than usual, to be honest with you. He hasn't been getting great ratings when he has played, but he's playing for a team that's rooted in the bottom of La Liga. So that has to be taken into consideration, surely. So anyway, the question here is the cup final. Who are you going with in goal, and why? If you appreciate this video, please thumbs up this video. Please drop me a comment if you want to buy me a coffee or a beer. I'm hoping to go for a beer tomorrow to do. You can hit the super thanks button, the love heart, and I'll give you a shout in my next morning briefing.